Hello, 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 SpeedGaming. Welcome to the Link to the Past Randomizer No Logic Tournament of 2022. I am JD Slivagun, and I'm joined by RedKitsune8. So we have an exciting race between Malmo and RedKitsune8. This is the winner's bracket, and I'm very excited for this race. We have two very skilled runners. Both are very knowledgeable about the format and glitches. So, for anyone that is not aware, no logic means that the items are placed without any regards to accessibility or beatability. And we are allowed to do several major glitches to beat the game regardless of that.
So I will be commentating on a limited basis here because my voice is going out and I am tracking, but we have just sent our racers off. We will be starting in seconds. If you're wondering what sweet sounds you're jamming to, that is the DKC Tropical Freeze MSU on Malmo's side.
Okay, right away, Divergence. We have Link's House Opener versus the Sanctuary, and the map of Thieves Town is good. I missed what was in Link's house.
That was a glove.
Oh, wow. A glove is a very convenient item, and not required. Not many items are required, but it certainly helps. So Malmo is doing a clip to get to the man under the bridge, and we'll probably follow it up with some swim clipping to get to Ice Rod Cave. This has become a pretty standard opener for many runners in the tournament. Meanwhile, RedKitsune8 is doing a North Light World check. With just a pod key in Bonk Rocks. Going the long way through the bushes to check the Lumberjack. Malmo gets a swim clip. And nothing on the Lumberjack. That's very convenient how you can just clip directly into the cave from swimming and then use the pit state to get a water walk, and she's going to splash out onto ground. Having a little trouble with the crabs, but makes it out. So far, nothing exciting on Red's route either. And nothing exciting in the waterfall either. So Red is going to do an early Kakariko play. Just somewhat uncommon in the glitch community. A big key on the Zora ledge is definitely worth clipping to. Hopefully it's not a fetch quest big key, but we'll see. Big key to ice is exactly a fetch quest key. So far, just money in the well for Red. Compass, money. Not even good money. It's all pocket change.
Alright, I was panicking for a second there because I thought I had managed to miss all of Blind Set. But RedKitsune8 went straight to the well there.
Yep. powder. That could be useful. In addition to checking the magic bat, powder can be used to set a search index. And that may come up later. We'll see. So I wonder if Malmo will go up the mountain or go to town as well. It is more common to avoid town, but some people will go right away, depending on what items they find. I'm a little bit surprised she didn't immediately check the back of escape, but there are a lot of checks available right from the start. Just using overworld glitches, most of the light world is clearable.
Also, just unusual to have a glove so early.
That's true as well, and she is going up the mountain. This is called New DMA, and it's just for accessing the Old Man Rescue Cave without using the glove that she has, but that's commonly seen in restricted major glitches, vanilla speedruns.
Possibly faster to do what she did.
If you do it that quick, yeah. I mean, it takes a while for Link to pick up the rock. The hammer at the race game is nice, so we have a weapon now, other than bombs. Big key to Meyer, which is going to be useful if we have the Meyer medallion. And Meyer is also a crystal. But the hammer is pretty much exactly a weapon. I mean, it can unlock checks, but in this mode, it's one of the items that you definitely can do without. Malmo is doing a little dance on the mountain with the old man. Manages to take him home safely. And Red finds the GT Big Key in Desert, and the significance of that key is that it's one of the 4 cave state big keys. And I will discuss that more when it comes up, but right now Red is setting up a quadrant glitch. When he gets hit by the BMOS, it will desync him from his coordinates, and he'll be able to access the right side of Desert without unlocking the door. And meanwhile, Malmo has done DMD, or Death Mountain Descent, to Graveyard Ledge and found a bottle. And that's a very good item to find in this mode, because bottles allow us to do YBAs, or Yusufahara's Bottle Adventures, and it's a glitch where you drink a potion on the same frame as a screen transition, and that can have a variety of effects. Most notably, you can access areas you wouldn't otherwise be able to, and it looks like Red just got some rupees on the right side of Desert and is death warping out, because you're trapped in the room if you don't have the mirror. Getting a Sahasrara play from Malmo. Going to get the green pendant info and 3 items in the back. Green pendant Hera. And not the worst green pendant, because Moldarm usually dies in every no logic seed. Ice Rod and the big key of Hera. I believe that was in the back.
So it was a small key to Turtle Rock and a big key to Desert.
Oh, big key to Desert, whoops. Well, that might be a useful key. And Red is digging, and that is the big key of Hera, okay. But the reason why I say that Moldarm rarely survives the no logic seed is because depending on how the seed routes out, a lot of crystals could end up being duped. through Hera. They say all roads lead to Hera in this mode. And generally that is true. So the rules of this tournament state that you must collect all 7 crystals, but you also must defeat all 7 bosses who hold those crystals. And because of the way we access rooms in this mode, that may not happen on the same trip.
Yep, Malmo's routing here is going to work out for her a lot better. She's going to have the glove to check, the bottle to check Sick Kid, and then she'll be going into desert with both the big key and a potion, or likely to go in with a potion. She'll probably purchase one in town.
Yeah, I would guess that would be the case as well. And also, she will not be orphaning Checkerboard Cave, because I don't think Red has went to Link's house yet.
Has not. Actually, I may be wrong about that. We'll see in a second.
Yeah, we will. So, meanwhile, Red has done the same clip that Malmo did to rescue the old man. And Malmo's just clearing out Kakariko. Even if Red does not have the glove, I can't imagine he'll miss it for too long, but I suppose it is possible to forget about Link's house. Generally, we always start on the mountain in glitched modes because you have access to a lot of areas from the mountain with overworld glitches, and it's the main way to enter the Dark World as well. The lamp on Sick Kid, oh, well, Red is definitely going to have to make it back for that. The lamp is one of the most powerful items in No Logic, not by itself, but the lamp can be used to manipulate the Ancilla search index, and that is used for misslotting. There are a variety of glitches that involve misslotting Ancilla or items that Link creates that can have very powerful effects. And we are definitely going to see that at some point in this seed, almost certainly. And it doesn't look like Red is finding anything in Hera, but is climbing with the big key and the hammer, so probably going to clear out everything here. Malmo is getting her hammer at the race game, doing a nice little clip to steal the item.
Interesting, both got powder in town. Neither checked Magic Bat. I'm not sure either of them had the magic to do so.
Yeah, I was thinking that as well, because I've run into that situation where I clipped in to check it and then actually didn't even have the magic because it was so early in the game and felt like an idiot, but they both were paying attention to their resources. Red is having a time with these mini Moldorms. Setting up a bomb jump. Didn't like it. So this desert big chest, Red was not able to check. Big key to pod. I mean, that's another cave state big key. Not that that really matters, but if you get enough keys, it is faster to pod than cave state, because you can take advantage of the mirror and death warps, but that is not really a common thing, but we'll see. So she's getting her GT big as well, so it'll be interesting to see if they go to Hyrule Castle to get the cave state key or not. And Malmo has done a YBA, and this will take her to Thieves Town. She's able to crack the floor in the attic and check the item there. And some ways of doing this would allow you to steal the key, but that is not going to happen in this case. Meanwhile, Red has done his bomb jump and defeated Moldorm and collected the green pendant.
Yeah, so on RedKitsune's tracker, not marked is the glove, so I did not miss that. Not been to Link's house.
Yeah, I didn't think he did. Maybe he'll do a Houlihan and then he'll re-enter Link's house after exiting from the Houlihan room. And we're getting a hover to the small key in Spec Rock. The Red has shown quite a strong prowess in hovering in this tournament. One of his first matches, I believe it was, he hovered the Trinex gap because he had the big key but no Samaria. He did not do it on his first try, but he did do it though, and that is a scary thing to have to deal with if you're his opponent, I would think.
Alright, so
Although
although
Malmo is continuing in Thieves Town. Interesting.
yeah, so we're not tracking them, that's not an option on the Speed Gaming tracker, but we have quite a few Dark World maps on both sides.
That's a really good point. A sword and blind saw, but not taking the maiden to the room though. Okay, so I'm assuming she just wanted to open those cell doors so that when she comes back later, probably in Thieves Town state, but without the Thieves Town big key, that she can just take care of that. I mean, depending on resources, because you would have to open that door on the left somehow if you don't bypass the door some other way with hook pushing or some other means of glitching through.
Yeah, it almost seems like a mistake not to do the blind fight now, because now you're leaving that door as something you have to deal with. But I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure what she's thinking. We'll see as the race goes on. If it was a mistake, I think there will be an indication of that from her actions. But so since go ahead.
I missed the left chest there in the bottom of Paradox Cave.
I missed it as well. Sorry. I was just going to say that, so Malmo had traveled from Desert to Thieves Town using a YBA, and then exited to the Overworld. And right now she's in what is known as the fake Dark World. And what that means is she has a link state on this specific Overworld screen without the Moon Pearl. And if she screen transitions off of that screen, it will load a Light World screen. But also because she re-entered the dungeon from the front, her dungeon ID is set to Thieves Town, or what we call Thieves Town State, because before she entered in Desert State.
Yeah, so she realizes,
and based on her actions...
Yeah, she thinks she made a mistake.
Yeah, she kind of locked herself out, but with not having enough keys, I don't think the route she was going for was really doable, so she's probably going to just get the Village of Outcast checks and then do something else from there. She has magic, so she can check the magic bat now. That will tie in nicely with the screen transition back to the Light World. And Red is going to get his bottle in Graveyard Ledge. But it's worth noting as well, for those that are not aware, that the Fake Worlds phenomenon is behavior of the vanilla game, and it is patched out in normal no glitches randomizer, but it's kept in glitch logic, or no logic in this case. It's kept in glitch modes because it's useful, basically. So Red is doing the Houlihan, and we'll see if he remembers to re-enter Link's house to check the item. And Malmo is doing what I said she might do and checking the magic bat. It doesn't even have to clip to it. And Red does get his glove in Link's house. A 17-minute trip to your house.
Yep, and Malmo got a second bottle there out of a C-shaped house.
Yeah, bottles are very powerful items to have. That is, with that and the sword and the hammer and the lamp. Well, not so much the lamp yet, but she has some items that are helping her make progress. Not that Red does not, but that 2 bottles this early is probably a relief. There are some seeds where you're just kind of stuck into doing, like, once you clear out the light world, they're just bad, slow checks to do after that. But with bottles available, there is always somewhere you can go, for the most part, to do more checks. Boomerang and Checkerboard Cave, that is significant in this mode. That can be used in combination with Hookshot to just modify variables and do very powerful hook pushes. Mini Moldarm Cave from Red. I do not think we've seen this yet from either runner. Big key to skull is nice, and a bow. Bow is really nice. So, I'll say what I was thinking in a second. Right now, Red is attempting to do a door juke. You can do what's called an item snap in a door to make Link move a certain amount of pixels. And you can force yourself past the transition without triggering it. Unfortunately, he decided to give up on it. It would have taken him to King's Tomb if he succeeded. And Malmo's doing a quadrant glitch, the same thing we saw from Red earlier, but I believe this is just a slightly different setup. But the bow is a really nice item, not just for its intended purpose, but using the lamp and the bow and bombs, they can do a very powerful glitch called Overworld Conveyor, and that's another thing that can help them get around. And depending on what other items and tools you have at your disposal, that can be very helpful. And Overworld Conveyor is an example of a misslotting glitch. It involves misslotting a bomb. And hopefully we'll see that. I think it's a cool glitch.
Oh, are we going to see yet another desert cutscene?
I hope not, but you never know. I think after all the discussion from the last two races earlier, she will probably steal the key. But
I don't think
maybe not.
I don't think she has a potion to do it. Maybe I missed it.
Well,
I don't think so.
I do not know if she does or not, but that is unfortunate. As we saw in a recent race where the runners were a little bit put off because they didn't want to open the door in desert, and that door can be used to access swamp and other things too, but mostly swamp. So stealing the key, the small key from the back here, and then using a glitch to get to the boss instead of going in this room can be very advantageous, but she's just doing it the vanilla way.
So Kitsune checking Zora, I think he realized on the way that he does not have the arrows to do a Ancilla overload.
Splash delete
there. Yeah. Can't get that big key on the ledge right now.
That's kind of annoying for him because it's going to be in the back of his head, but we know that it's just the ice big key, which is, whatever. And we're finally getting back of escape from one of the runners, and Malmo is having a time with this hammer fight. It's not the easiest thing to hit the landmos with the hammer, but it does do a lot of damage though, so it's worth attempting. Big key to Thieves Town in the back of escape. Piece of Heart and Meyer Small. So Pendant at Desert is interesting. It's information. We already know two of our pendants. So as I was saying about the ice big key, the reason why that doesn't matter is not only do you not need the key to beat the dungeon, but in no logic, unlike many other modes of randomizer, it is the seed would have to be extremely awful for you to get burned by skipping any particular location or not having any particular item. There are multiple solutions to like every problem that can arise in a no logic seed. So being hard gated by any particular check or lack of any particular item is very uncommon. The most common one would be the rods, but we are using a double rods item pool.
Yeah,
So,
that said, there could be a valuable item in there, like Hookshot or Samaria are more valuable than others.
that's true. So Red does a nice clip to get to Saha from the potion shop, getting his desert big and ice rod after he was already at desert, which is classic key sanity. Hera big for Malmo at the dig spot. Looks like we're getting an Eastern play from Red, and didn't see if he bought a potion. I would assume so. He could take this play to Meyer as well if he likes.
Yes, he bought a potion.
He thinks about opening the door, but then decides that he wants to do a door juke here, and yeah, this is a much faster way to check the big key chest. Even if you like take your time and buffering it, walking around from the big chest all the way to the big key chest is just so slow in Eastern. And Samaria is in the big key chest. Wow, what a find. The Samaria, personally, is my favorite item, and it is arguably the most powerful single item you could get. I mean, some people would say a bottle is, but it's debatable either way. Both are extremely powerful. I think it's the most powerful unique item, probably, but regardless of my opinion, it's an extremely powerful glitching item. We can use it to transport ourselves to other rooms, duplicate chests, and a variety of other things as well. Sword as well. That's our second sword we found in the cannonball chest. Meanwhile, Malmo is teleporting into the clouds to get a small key on the floating island. TR small, those are some of the more useful small keys to have, especially if she never gets that Cane of Samaria.
Well, unfortunately, that is her third, so they lose value quickly after the first.
Yeah, that's a good point. But you can use TR keys in GT depending on how you route, or even in Meyer. We have seen a quadrant glitch in this tournament from TR to Meyer. I would be surprised if we see that here, but I liked when runners make creative uses of their keys.
Alright, well, I didn't see that, but I'm almost certain who did that. Because I'm pretty sure,
I'm sure
only one player does that.
What was that key in the compass chest?
Turtle Rock Big.
That is a useful key to have. Okay, so RedKitsune8 knows that he doesn't have the Eastern Big Key. He did not attempt to unlock the door by accident. What this does is it sets a value so that when he does a West Samaria, or STC, Samaria Transition Corruption, it's going to unlock the door without setting an unreasonable length timer. And he took all that damage on purpose because without the mirror, he has to death warp out of here. So the result of this is, as you can see, he has deleted the door. It also despawns the sprites, so he is death warping to reload the dungeon, and I assume he's just gonna go right back in and clear out the boss.
You know, yeah, this is, so I think, no? What are we doing here? Oh, yeah, so this is what I thought he might do. He's getting down to 1 heart. I think he's going to close that cannonball room chest and dupe that sword right here. I think he just did that. So we're going to get a second sword.
Yeah, I realized that as soon as you started explaining it, because that definitely is an option. I wonder how far he's going to take this. I've seen him dupe a sword all the way up to gold sword in a race, which arguably is kind of a waste of time, but to go past tempered, because you can see he has to set up the death warp and then do the dupe and then run through the room. So it'll be interesting to see how many times he dupes this sword. But meanwhile, Malmo has done a bomb juke in an auto door, which is a fairly difficult trick, and she has managed to reach the pyramid. Once again, this is fake Dark World because she never did a world transition. She just moved through the underworld to access a different part of the overworld. Unfortunately, does not get rewarded with a good item on the pyramid ledge. Does a screen transition back to real light world, but with the Dark World palette loaded. And Red is showing that the West Samaria, in addition to deleting the Eastern Big Key door, also dupes the Compass chests. So he needlessly has 2 TR Big Keys. I wonder if he just thought it was funny or if he forgot what was in there.
He's getting it for the next race in case he can't find it.
So interestingly, Red has only gone up to Master Sword. However, knowing that that sword is there, he can come back later if he wants to. I am a little surprised he didn't go up to Tempered because he duped up to Gold in a previous race in this tournament.
Yeah, the longer you have those swords, especially an upgrade like Master to Tempered, the longer that offensive advantage gains you time.
Yeah, the Master Sword is really bad, and for a lot, well, I shouldn't say a lot, but there are enemies and bosses where the Fighter Sword is actually better than the Master Sword. And the Master Sword just isn't that great, but it's good enough to beat the game if you have to, though.
So this could be unfortunate. I don't know. We're about to find out whether Eastern is a pendant or crystal. Malmo just got the map. If it's a pendant, she might not go here. I think we only have 1 pendant outstanding, though, so it's unlikely.
Yeah, that is a good point. However, it's possible that... Ooh, a nice fire rod in the boomerang chest in Hyrule Castle from Malmo. But it's possible that if Meyer is a crystal, even if Eastern's a pendant, that you do the checks in Eastern on the way to Meyer, but it's also possible that they're skipped as well. Because it's pretty fast to do that bomb juke. And it is a pendant, so all 3 Light World dungeons are pendants. That's interesting. So Swamp and Meyer and TR, all of which can be hard to deal with in No Logic, are crystals.
So it looks like we are getting.
Red is setting up another sword dupe.
Yeah, there's one place that Master Sword, well, 2 places. Master Sword is worse than Fighter Sword, and that is the 2 Armos fights. And just now regretted not having
fights as well.
Yeah, just now regretted not having Tempered on Armos.
Well, see, it's 2 bosses, but both of those bosses appear twice in the game. But I suppose you will not be seeing Landmo 2 in No Logic. So, Malmo has done a clip known as Kiki Skip, and it clipped from Spectacle Rock Cave into Palace of Darkness. And this is what is known as Cave State, because she did not enter the dungeon through the front door. There's no dungeon ID set. So in Cave State, you can open as many small key doors as you want to, and because she has... well, in this case, multiple Cave State big keys, but you only need 1. You can open big key locks, such as doors and big chests as well. Also of note is that particular clip that she did wraps the entire Underworld map, so the sprites are despawned, and there are no enemies or switches. if she reloads the dungeon by exiting and entering, it will be in pod state and there will be enemies again. There will be sprites. So Red is setting up a YBA to go to Meyer. Misses it and decides to leave.
Out
but
of
he
bombs.
didn't drink the... Oh, out of bombs? See, you were giving me some criticism during my races, but the select buffer technique is worth knowing. For just that situation. Red will probably visit the ferry and buy an upgrade. I don't think Red did this man under the bridge check yet either.
Yeah, the main purpose of this is to get a fake flipper to buy bomb upgrades, I think.
Yeah, I mean, he will probably buy arrows as well. 8 arrows is not that many. But yeah, so Red does have the tempered sword, as I expected that he would. That's kind of amusing. Certain locations are like quite easy to dupe, even if it takes a little bit of time, and some are very much not easy to dupe. So he bought 2 bomb upgrades and 1 arrow upgrade, so it should be good for a while.
And we got the small key
And
to...
if he checks Sick Kid, he's...
Yeah, small key to
Okay.
desert there on Malmo's side in the pod big chest. That's valuable, especially given that she made a mistake in Thieves and went to Landmo the vanilla way.
Yeah, and as I was saying, Red is getting his lamp from Sick Kid. So yeah, that is an interesting location for the desert key in the pod big chest, because sometimes if you put off pod, it's easy to skip the bat, because pod, even though it has a lot of items, it's not particularly that fast to do it. Like, you can see, like, Malmo's been in here a while, and it's nothing against her. She has very good times in AD RMG. Her movement is good, but pod is just slow. So I don't know if Red will need that key as other runners have needed in the past, so it might be interesting to see if he gets that. Although he knows pod is a crystal now, I'm pretty sure. Oh, he might not know Desert's a pendant.
Neither has full crystal information yet.
That's a good point, yeah. We know from watching. So Malmo is reloading the dungeon, and she has a few options from here. Could fight the boss, which is probably what we're gonna see. So Malmo is setting up a glitch called statue drag to Helmasaur, and by storing the statue dragging animation, we are able to bypass a transition in the front door and basically manipulate Link's position on the underworld map and access the boss using only bombs and this statue pulling animation.
Is this happening? Are we going to open the... Are we going to do the desert cutscene for the 4th time in 2 races here?
I don't know. I hope not, but it looks like it though. Meanwhile, Malmo has gotten past the difficult part of the statue drag, just needs to pick up the pots, step on the switch, manipulate the camera. And she is in Helmasaur's room, but it gets a bad input there. You only need to take 1 heart of damage during that part, and I don't know if that was just a little slip of a thumb. But yeah, you need to hold left into up left to avoid that. I'm sure she knows that, but no one is perfect. But having the hammer in this fight is a huge luxury. Like, I've been playing so much no logic that when I played like another mode, I like forgot to use the hammer in like certain boss fights where it would have been helpful because I was just used to not having it. A very nice fight though, it doesn't take any damage at all. Meanwhile, Red has taken down Landmo as well. Sword on Helmasaur King. Nice. So since we now know that Meyer is a crystal, if she goes through Eastern to get to Meyer, the way we saw Red attempt to do, I'd have to imagine she's going to pick up that sword. Even if she does not get Samaria, which is a little more out of the way, even with the glitch. And her leaving is interesting. She could have used a couple different glitches to get to Hookshot Cave and then gone to GT after that if she wanted to, but it's understandable to not do that if you don't want to, so I wonder where she's gonna go. That book, I'm assuming, was in Pod. I missed it.
Oh, that sounds correct.
Nothing on Ether Tablet. Meanwhile, Red is... What is Red doing? He's not damaged down, so this isn't an Argus play. I think he's just setting up a YBA. We saw this earlier from Malmo. This will go to the top floor of Thieves Town. Meanwhile, we're getting a Bunny Citrus DMD, or Death Mountain Descent, from Malmo. This is a style of one-frame clipping called Citrus, and it's one of the only ways to clip when you're a bunny. It's generally the easiest way, but it only works on left side slopes.
So Red,
I'm guessing,
drank his potion there, unfortunately, so not going to Thieves Town from Desert.
That is unfortunate. He's having a little trouble with the YBAs, but Malmo's also having trouble with this clip. I'm guessing this is a Skull Woods play.
Yeah, so we have to start thinking about it. Is Malmo in go mode? If so, it's terrible. That's why the long pause from my co-com here.
Yeah. See, it depends what you know. No Logic is a very, like, personal... It's not like regular ALTTP rando where it's like, well, you can't do this because you don't have this. If you know enough, you can definitely do things, and even if you do know enough, you might not want to do those things. I find it interesting that she hasn't done the mountain yet because... Or no, was the bow... No, the bow wasn't on the mountain. It was in Mini Moldorm, my mistake. But anyways... if she had the bow, and if she knows Overworld Conveyor, that would be a good way to deal with TR. Because she can Overworld Conveyor and then double YBA. Not having the flippers for Swamp is kind of a problem. It can be surmounted, but none of those ways are fun to do. And she has no medallion, so the process of getting the Meyer crystal is going to be daunting as well. I'd have to say that there's no way she considers herself in go mode, considering all of those things. But it is possible for her to beat the game if she knows Overworld Conveyor. I'm not sure if she does, because I've never seen her do it, but she might just not like doing it. And that's exactly what we're seeing from Red, actually. He's attempting to miss-slot a bomb. If you succeed and get a slot 9 bomb and pick up the bomb, well, the other bomb is hitting you, you get a downward conveyor. And he's having a little trouble setting this.
I missed whatever that item was in Pinball Room.
Yeah, sorry, I missed it too because I was trying to diagnose the problem with Red's conveyor, but he gives up on it. It goes into the dark world. So Red has full info, and I'm guessing Malmo checked her map, and she does too.
Yes. Her last piece of information was checking the map to see that Eastern was appended. They both got
So
full
we're
crystal
seeing another
information
citrus.
seconds apart.
Well, that's good for them to at least know what they're up against. And we're seeing a citrus, but this is a different citrus. This is going to take Red to GT. It's a screen wrap that puts him like on the stairs to Ganon's tower if done correctly. And he got it.
So, by the way, I don't know if anyone else saw it, but there was a odd sprite that flew horizontally across Red's screen when he was trying to set up that overworld conveyor.
Yeah, that happens sometimes. Yeah, but I also was having like some slight frame rate issue on my end, so I'm not sure. It was like stuttering a little bit. Seems better now though. So did Red not do Hope Room? He just went straight to the left?
Correct.
That's interesting. I would think you would... I don't know. Maybe he's gonna do the whole right side together.
I think
And
maybe
do an obnoxious bomb jump.
hoping he finds a fire rod on the left side.
It's possible. Well, we know one fire rod is in the boomerang chest, if I recall correctly.
Sounds right. Maybe.
Meanwhile,
the map
Malmo
chest.
is into the Mothula fight. This isn't too bad with Fire Rod and Master Sword. And nicely done. Not the fastest fight, but it was... I think it might have been damageless, though. Gets her third crystal on the board. That is a resounding lead at the moment, because Red should be pulling Ped right now on his next convenience with his 3 pendants.
Yeah, I think Malmo actually has 2 crystals and a pendant.
Oh, my mistake. Yeah, you were right. Still, the 2 crystals to 0 is not nothing. I find it interesting that Red did not push the block up in that room to block the fire snake, because he was doing the item dash setup for the bomb jump. Maybe just wasn't thinking about it. Okay, this has to be Mini Moldarm Cave from Malmo. She's gonna get the bow, which is helpful. It's a little less helpful in this seed because Eastern is a pendant, but if she knows Overworld Conveyor, that could be advantageous. I don't know, it's a good weapon as well. So far, I don't think Red's really finding anything in GT, but we're getting the bomb juke to King's Tomb from Malmo. That Red gave up on this earlier. So this will be interesting if this is something good. And she gets it. I think she's attempting to scroll the camera. Half magic? That's not nothing. It's not super important, but it's helpful. Another bottle behind Ice Armos. Now that's good for Red, although unfortunately was struggling with some YBAs earlier, so, but even with that being the case, I don't see how that would not be helpful. I wonder how far he's gonna go on the right side, and will he do tile room? The flute may or may not help. It could potentially speed up his movement with buying potions. But once you've like full cleared the light world, that's pretty much its only use. Because they typically, runners do not use conventional dark world access. What did Malmo just get from Bombos?
I'm afraid I also did not see it. I can check her tracker though.
And Red is setting up the bomb jump.
She has the hook shot.
Okay, I thought that was something, because she's like paused with the select button for a second, so that's why I thought it was something important. Then that is very important. Especially because she just got the bow, so she can do stuck pushing, which is a certain kind of hook pushing. And it's a very powerful missliding glitch. That, in combination with the boomerang, makes it even stronger. And she's about to do it right now. So using the lamp sets your search index to a high value. We need it to be 10 or higher. So it gets a stuck hook. And she's taking her time though. Maybe realizes she doesn't have that many bombs. You don't need to wait. You can use the original bombs if you're fast enough to release the hook, but oh, that is really unfortunate. She failed it. I'm curious why she felt the need to set the distance with the 0A stuck push with the boomerang, because you definitely don't need that much distance to go through that wall. Like, I've done it without, like, I can say from personal experience, but...
Yeah, so Mama had scouted this before. The stun prize is bombs, so she can recover here.
That's interesting. So I'm guessing Red gave up on the bomb jump that he had set up, because he's in pod now.
Yeah, he bailed on the right side, GT right side bomb jump.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad he didn't waste that much time on that. I mean, if you get it right away, it's great, but that bomb jump is just really obnoxious. I know some people are really good at it, but it's not usually a high priority on the list of things to practice. Okay, she gets the stuck push this time. And she has a key, so I'm guessing she's gonna unlock that door we were inquiring about earlier.
Yeah, so she's here from desert. She has the desert small key. I forget off the top of my head where that was.
It was in the pod big chest. Oh, Red is being thorough, so he's gonna get the keys that Malmo got, or the key. I don't know if there were any important keys other than that one, and I think the book was here as well. And he's gonna get Butter Sword from Helmasaur King when he fights the boss.
So Malma's not going to need to open that door. She's just going to beat blind, exit, head back in.
Yeah, this is really smart. She's using a glitch called LSD blind to keep the door open. So even though she's in desert state, and that being the case, she will not be able to collect the Thieves Town crystal immediately. But she will defeat the boss and then walk out the front door of Thieves Town and walk back in, and then she'll be able to get the crystal. There was another sword on blind. There were 2 swords in Thieves Town. That's interesting. Well, there was money in pod other than just the floor rupees. The 300s are definitely nice to have in this mode. It's expensive to play no logic between potions and capacity upgrades. So I'll be curious to see if Red takes the play anywhere else after this, after he fights the boss. Because as I was saying earlier, Red is very good at hovering, so he could do all of Hookshot Cave. He already did GT, but he could get Super Bunny as well while he's over there. So Malmo has, for real, 3 crystals this time, but Red is almost certainly gonna get his first in a couple of minutes here.
Yeah, at this point though, Malmo has a pretty big advantage with the hook shot and fire rod.
Yeah, that fire rod in Hyrule Castle that's a really bad place for Red, and I'm not just saying that because the same thing happened to me in my final tournament race, but it's just
Not
Hyrule
bitter.
Castle is just not somewhere that you want to go when so much of the world is available. When do you want to be trying to clear dungeons? So this is another stuck push. This will take her to Ice Palace if she succeeds at it. And meanwhile, Red is setting up statue drag as well. Looks like he got the stair suction glitch that we saw earlier in another race, so he had to go back up the stairs again. So Malmo successfully has entered Ice Palace, but in cave state. So she's going to check this room and then reload the dungeon.
One would think it's about time for her to start skipping chests. So I didn't see what Red did there, but failed statue drag in a way that got him soft locked.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it was. Apparently there are a lot of ways to fail that, but I don't know. I mean, I've discovered a few of them, but I did practice it quite a bit before, like when I was learning this mode. Well, we're all still learning, but I feel like that is one of the most important things to know, just generally. And unfortunately are a lot of ways you can fail it. Because I thought he had got past the hard part, the 2 bombs in the door. Because there's a very specific timing that you want to pull the invisible statue when the bomb explodes. So we're getting an Ice Palace lobby clip from Malmo, just to skip a couple rooms.
Yeah, so what it sounds like happened then is that he went too deep in the door before starting to drag to juke it. So he transitioned south.
So Red has done a YBA to get to Thieves Town from the Uncle Passage, so this is also cave state. But he is going to be able to clear out the items, and you know, I don't remember if Red has been to the attic or not. So if he hasn't bombed the floor, the maiden's going to despawn, and he's going to have to come back down here.
I am
So
fairly certain
pretty sure he failed.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain he has not bombed the floor.
And also forgets to set up the key dash, so it gets the stair suction glitch. That's a very easy mistake to make. But yeah, I apologize if there are comments and questions in chat as I read chat on my phone and it's unfortunately been having issues with Twitch. So if that's where you got that information about the statue drag, thank you for that, Haiku type.
No, so I currently have well, I've done a lot of statue drags, and that just sounds like what happened.
Okay. Well, either way. Well, flippers and ice, that's a huge find because swamp. But Malmo, even though she has a big hookshot advantage, swamp is still really difficult to tackle without having Samaria, because she could do the double YBA to take care of the Argus requirement, but actually getting the crystal without Samaria or the flippers is a hassle. But because if she gets the Samaria from Eastern, she can do a hook push from the first room of Swamp to dupe the crystal. But since she has flippers now, what?
She's still going out of her way for some items, but it seems unlikely she's going to go to an entire dungeon that she knows she doesn't have to do.
Yeah. But since she has flippers, she can do an easy swamp dupe through Hera, though. But I have to imagine she wants to find medallions, because we don't have info on Meyer yet. And she knows it's a crystal for sure. And not having Samaria is yet another kind... Well, I guess she can still do the hook push dupe for Meyer without deleting the door, but... You still don't want to dupe Meyer if you can avoid it. That was a pretty nice fight for Malmo. It wasn't flawless, but it was very quick, though. That was a very fast cold stare. So that is crystal number 4 for Malmo. And Red still, unfortunately, doesn't have any. But he's about to get the Thieves' Town crystal, unless he made a mistake that I am not aware of.
It's going to take him a minute. I think he still needs to bomb the attic get the maiden.
Yeah, that's a good point, because Thieves' Town is kind of a deceptively long dungeon. I was watching some speedruns, and like the split for this is like as long as the GT split for like a vanilla run, or just about. Oh, Malmo getting some capacity upgrades. I don't think she's going to go too far out of her way for checks, but you have to be thinking about the Meyer medallion in this scenario. There's just no way you're not.
Yeah, I think
you don't want to go too far out of your way, but
we're going to get Swamp here, I think, just because it's easy.
Oh, do you think she's going to go all the way through the regular way because she has hammer and hookshot?
That is what I think. Let's see, does she have the small key? Nope.
Well, she does have to do it the HMG way by unlocking it, but that's relatively the normal way for no logic.
Yeah, she does have she does have the Hera small key.
Yeah, I personally would attempt the double YBA from Desert to get to Argus, because she has the flippers, so she doesn't need to do the spin YBA. Yeah, because I think that's faster. But, I mean, this is still good, though. She's setting up the Raiden pot, the new tech. I think she likes this better than the Super Speed Herapot because she buffers her boots Herapot. So I think she thinks this is faster. I'm getting Moldorm out of the way.
One of the other benefits that the glitch players have pointed to of that setup is that there's no risk that you spend the Harris small key on the basement.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not careful, that definitely could happen. I've done it before. But, I mean, you usually, like, saved and quit right before you did it, so it's a minor time loss. Okay, so the reason she defeated Moldorm but did not collect the pendant is because she is planning to dupe something here. Probably Swamp, but Meyer as well, probably, if she doesn't find any medallions. So, and Moldorm must be defeated in order for that to happen. Yeah, she could have put it off, but there's no real reason to do so. And right now we're getting a dash citrus. This is going to take her to Swamp. So meanwhile, Red has
SpeedGaming
defeated
chat.
Blind.
SpeedGaming chat. What are we doing here? Everybody get excited for some reason. We're doing it.
My browser on my phone crashed. I can't even see chat. I'm gonna try to fix it. But yeah, we're getting some ped hype, I am assuming.
No, don't read. Thank you.
He's had those pendants for a very long time. I think it is about time he checked it. Can't wait for the mirror any longer for Skullwoods. Small key to Skullwoods. This is not what he was hoping for. Okay, so Malmo has unlocked Swamp and then re-entered to set her dungeon ID to Swamp. So I am very curious if she's going to go all the way through to the boss, or if she's just going to do YBA to go back to Hera and dupe the crystal.
Well, she's still looking for items, so it seems like I think she's going to go through. Yeah, there we go. Do it all one trip, get the items.
Why kill Moldorm so early?
Oh, we'll be duping later.
If she's looking for the medallion, she's hoping she's not duping later, though. A third bottle is helpful. Because she's probably not going to get the fourth one in GT.
No, but she skipped the compass chest, so we're now skipping some chests at least. Hybrid go mode.
So meanwhile, Red has succeeded at his conveyor this time, and as you can see, he has used it to cross the mountain in the Dark World. Well, this is a laser bridge play.
Sadly, does not have the fire rod that Malmo does out of escape.
He also messed it up. I couldn't tell originally because his bunny sprite looks really funny, but he was not facing the right way to enter the door in conveyor state. So when you're a bunny, you can't bomb the wall open. So he's going to have to try again, which is unfortunately another time loss that he really can't afford right now. Malmo, even though she's showing signs of not being comfortable with this go mode, she is running away with this race, like, very quickly. Into the Argus fight. This is a very comfortable fight for her with the tempered sword. Malmo has done a lot of AD RMG runs, so I don't expect her to have any trouble with, just the mechanics of the game. And that was a pretty quick fight. Meanwhile, Red has set up his conveyor again and is doing the bunny TR climb with the conveyor.
I could not make out.
I see people doing that.
That was Mitts there on Argus.
I don't really see a way that's really that helpful, but it is kind of interesting. But, yeah, Red's not facing up. Oh, he's going to the middle this time, I see. But I found it interesting that he kept trying to jump across the screen transition like that, because you can just press the opposite direction and to when you're in that state, and it will force you across the screen transition. So, anyways, he made it into Turtle Rock, and I assume he has the big key. It wasn't. I don't remember it being anywhere that out of the way, but I could be wrong.
So I don't have. Let's see. Well, we're about to find out. I feel like
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, yes. And Quake is here. I don't know if that's important or not, but it's our first medallion. Malmo gives up on the bomb clip. That one is really annoying because you can. There are subpixel dependencies, and there's a way to account for that, but the timing on that bomb clip can be tighter than other bomb clips if you're not just lucky and get the good subpixel. So she's just using the book to open desert.
So Red is stealing a key here in Turtle Rock. It's like he intends to go to Upper GT, I think.
Yeah, he can hover, so not having the hook shot won't hinder him from checking anything there. Where is Malmo going? She could stuck push into Meyer from this room, but she's probably thinking about how to do it, because this room's kind of annoying. Yeah, she has enough space to do it, though. It is certainly possible. You know, I did think of a way the mitts could be helpful. She could have teleported onto the portal and then walked to Meyer to check the medallion, and also used the bird to get Super Bunny and check Meyer's shed as well. Hey, nice. First try. And she still has her desert key, but she doesn't exactly need it, because she could have hookshot it across and saved this key. Oh, she's not even doing that. She's setting up another stuck push, so this is going to take her to the spooky 2 room with the bombable wall and the anti-fairies and the pegs. But she's going straight for the boss. Oh.
Straight into EG.
That's brilliant. I've never seen that before, but I know if your timing is wrong, you can get shorted on your hook push. I don't know if that was because of the bomb or the boomerang timing that was wrong in that specific case, but I've never had that happen to me personally. But that's become a pretty well-known shortcut that she was trying to do. But yeah, that is smart what she was trying to do, though. If she went straight for the boss, well, actually, she wouldn't have gotten a warp because she has the desert pendant, right?
Does she have the desert pendant? Yes, she does.
Yeah, because I know she defeated the boss, but if she had not collected the pendant, she would have been able to get a warp off of defeating Vitreous to, like, the outside of Meyer, and she would be able to check the medallion that way. So Red is going to Laser Bridge now, and he only has 1 key left, so I don't think we're seeing that GT play. Although he can delete that door and save the key if he wants to, and he knows that that's a thing. I don't think Red wanted to go that way in the... It may be not used to doing this room, because no logic. We don't usually do it. Meanwhile, Malmo setting up her stuck push to get back to Meyer. Oh, to answer a question in chat, yeah, she was doing a 0A stuck push in the room she's in right now to go to Spooky 2, but she got shorted, and she was just, like, in EG above the pit. And yeah, I didn't see if the bomb blew up too soon, but I know that that's a thing that can happen. So Red has done a death warp. I'm not sure why. Maybe he just wants to save the game. So Malmo was successful. I heard 0A stuck push this time.
Well, he did a north STC to delete the small key door here.
Oh, he did delete the door like I was thinking he should. I was just having trouble watching both at once. Okay, so it's cool that he does know that. Did he bomb the door open before deleting it, though?
Yep.
Okay, good. Malmo into the vitreous fight.
Interesting.
Following the script.
Interesting that Red didn't take the opportunity to delete the door. Oh, well, he has the big key. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm not familiar from how you delete the door, the big key door from this side, but yeah, they found it somewhere early on.
He deleted the small key door on the way to Trinex with a north STC on the laser bridge. You have to have the bombable wall open to do that.
Yep. Yeah, it writes the open door flag to the room above if you do the north STC there.
Malmo gonna buy potions. Red is going to do another overworld conveyor for something.
I think Malmo might be committing to this go mode, or at least more than she did before. Because it wouldn't be that... I mean, I guess it would be time consuming, but she could make a trip to check the medallion.
Well, I mean, she could have instantly
checked...
He could have instantly checked that bridge chest in Mire and did not.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. She could have hookshot it across. Yeah. So, Red has carried his conveyor off of the mountain. And he can get this item if he wants to, but it's only the mirror shield, so nobody would waste time on that, I would hope. So, it looks like we're getting a fake flute from Malmo. I'm guessing she's not comfortable with the conveyor to Laser Bridge.
Yeah, so likely a Turtle Rock play, hoping she gets a medallion from Mire. I'm not sure we've actually seen the Mire medallion on either side.
We have not. That's why I was just saying, or a second ago, she could have made a trip to check it with the mitts because she never went to Eastern. But not having any medallions, I could definitely see why you wouldn't think that's worth the time. So meanwhile, Skullwoods from Red did a Dungeon Bunny revive. So he has Link State inside the dungeon and Fake Dark World on the Skullwoods overworld. And there are a lot of glitches you can do with Samaria and Skullwoods that involve duping items or going to other places or like doing shortcuts. So it'll be interesting to see if he does any like that.
Yeah, I think Malmo made a mistake here. I think there was a bad movement. I think she has to
she was
think
setting
about
up
it.
I didn't see how she got here, but she looks too high. She was setting up a mirrorless screen wrap to get to Laser Bridge. I think... Oh no. Yeah, she should just reset and get her potion back. Yeah, I missed what happened, but yeah, that clip is very particular. Meanwhile, Red has... Man, both of them are doing so much stuff, I keep missing what's going on. I think Red, he did something with Samaria. I'm not sure if it was just the North STC to get the big key chest or not.
So Malmo's philosophy is if you're having trouble with the glitch, do something else. So it looks like she is now going to duplicate the Mire Crystal.
I can understand why some people, you know, carry that belief, but I know Malmo has done that mirrorless rap like so many times, and she's actually the one that like taught it to me. I learned an older way to do it that was inconsistent, but after I talked to her about it, it got fairly consistent for me. Like I don't remember the last time I like failed it, like during that last crucial part. So I'm surprised. It is very particular on the inputs, and it is a lot of steps though.
Right, so I don't think Malmo has deleted the sewer door.
She doesn't need to. She can hook push past it and then back and then walk through it. But Red's about to get the fire rod in the boomerang chest, or it was somewhere in the castle. Meanwhile, Malmo setting up. Oh, okay. Well, she's setting up a wrong warp to go to Hera. Not sure if she just failed it or what happened there, and she's using another potion, but looked like something happened there.
No, she drank her potion and had to fall in a pit to take damage to be able to use another one.
Yeah, okay, so it was a backup potion, okay. It happens. I think she's starting to feel the pressure of the clock, because we're seeing more mistakes than in her earlier gameplay. She has no idea that Red is not even... Well, wait, well, Red has the Thieves' Town crystal, right?
Yeah, I forgot to mark that.
Yeah, no problem. I was just curious. I was making sure I'm remembering things correctly, but yeah, I don't know if he trapped himself out of Skull Woods with the STCs that he was doing, or where he... I don't know why he left, because he definitely could have cleared it. Or no, he couldn't have, because he didn't have the fire rod. I'm sorry. Getting mixed up here. So he's going to Ice Palace now. That's rough, not knowing that the hook shot is available for him. I was thinking he could have gotten to the back with that, but he doesn't have it, obviously. So Malmo has set up her stuck hook and just needs to release it by overloading the Ancilla on screen. Gets it, very nice. So the significance of walking through that door is that it changes your dungeon ID, and all of the dungeons are paired due to some arbitrary coding. And so since she entered in pod state and went to Hera and then clipped from Hera to the sewers, she was in pod state until she went through that door. And the intended purpose of the door is to change the dungeon ID from Hyrule Castle to the sewers, but since she was in pod state and entered the door, the game now set her dungeon ID to Mire. So after she gets this stuck push through the wall and goes back to Hera and goes into Moldarm's room, the crystal for Mire will fall. She's having a little bit of issues. She needs to get this because she's running out of bombs. If she has a potion, she can do a YBA instead of this. But this is ideal, and it looks like she's going to get it this time. Okay, good. She got it on her last cycle of bombs. Because if doing it the way she does takes at least 2 bombs. There are other potential setups, but the more standard setup is the 3 arrows, 2 bombs. And if you're quick, it only takes 2 bombs, but if you take too long, you have to lay the bombs again, and then it takes 4 bombs. I'm pretty sure she had a potion, a 3rd potion, though, that she could have used if she ran out of bombs, though. I'm not sure, though. She definitely had pod keys to get to the door that she would have needed for that. But nonetheless, she's here. She has her 6th crystal and has defeated 6 of the crystal bosses so far.
So Red has declared himself in go mode, skipping chests and ice.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely needs to do something. Unfortunately, I think it's whatever he does is going to be too late, but it's good to see that he's still motivated to keep going strongly despite his earlier struggles in Seed. Oh no. Oh man, that is really, really unfortunate. Red just ran out of magic. On the Cold Stare fight, it didn't get past the first part.
I did not notice whether he was low going in. So I would think Red has to be sort of frustrated making the mistake with statue drag, failing a couple YBAs and running out of magic on Cold Stare.
Oh yeah, I would be pretty tilted. I think Malmo just missed a fake flute. I think the clock is definitely starting to get to her, and she had said earlier in the day that she wasn't feeling the greatest, so I think with all that being considered, she's performed admirably well in this race. It just needs to close it out. But she doesn't know this, but she has a long time to do this. Because Red is just so far behind. She needs to just do it. Okay, gets the fake flute. So when you do a fake flute, it puts you in the fake light world, and you do a screen transition to the real dark world, because she did it in the dark world. And then that gives you Super Bunny state, and when you have Super Bunny, you can pull on a tree pull location to get a link state. And this link state will last until you enter and exit an underworld location. So she's going to use this to attempt to enter Laser Bridge again. So meanwhile, Red is also setting up a fake flute from the looks of it. Hey, Malmo's setting up a bomb clip. I do like this bomb clip if you're going to do the mirrorless wrap. I think it's faster than doing the TR climb and then doubling back. And that one's a lot less finicky than the desert one. I guess the first part, tap down, dash turn right, buffer down right, up a little bit, walk left, stop, quick hop down. Yeah, that was textbook. I don't know what happened the first time that she messed it up. Still gonna look for what? Silvers?
Well, she's gonna find them.
I forgot that was there. Yeah, does Malmo have, I'm trying to think, what is her path from here? Because without Samaria...
Samaria might be nice, but she's just gonna delete the door. Or, well, she has the... Well, she has options.
No, I'm not. I mean, after the Trinex fight, that's not going to be an issue. I mean, getting to Aga 2 might be an issue. Like, what potions does she have? Does she have to redo this fake flute process to get to TR because she's showing us that she doesn't want to overworld convey?
Well, there's been a lot of discussion of stuck pushing lava dive. Not sure she's
Yeah, I've only
done
seen
it.
I've only seen 2 people ever do that, and both of them were different setups, but that would be really cool if she does do that, though. Okay, so we're gonna see another 0A stuck push here. She's setting her index with the lamp, then overloading Ancilla to get the hook stuck. This is a miss slot. So using the boomerang to set the direction and distance, and dash dust with the bombs to overload, and gets it first try. See, this part I knew she was gonna get. She just needs to do the fight. I'm just really curious how she's gonna get to Aga 2, because there are a few options, but none of them are that quick. But meanwhile, Red is into Meyer.
So Meyer, I didn't mark it, but Meyer is Quake, so we're in Meyer regularly.
Yeah, I was just seeing the crystal indicator. Yeah, that must have been... He must have just done it that way, because I know he was doing a fake flute, but I was just watching Malmo. So, Malmo gets her 7th crystal. But without having the mirror or Samaria, she is kind of trapped, so she is going to have to save and quit to get out of Turtle Rock. So Red Male on Fitrius, and Red gets his 2nd crystal. So I'm guessing Malmo is going to do the fake flute to link state process again, and then clip into the middle of TR, and then do a potion lava dive with a YBA. But maybe not, we'll see. No matter what she does, it's faster and better than climbing Ganon's tower.
Well,
Look at buying arrows for Ganon too. Oh no, what? I have to think that was an accident. What?
Yeah, that was some kind of autopilot. Yep, but there is a YBA you can do in GT to skip most of the climb. I think she has the GT big, so she could do it. You could go from the refill room to the post Moldarm 2 room.
You're right, that actually might be faster, given that she's shown us she's not comfortable with overworld conveyor. Oh, another option she could do is she could use the portal on the Light World, like TR portal or whatever you call that, and then do a citrus clip to get to the middle of Turtle Rock, and then do the lava dive from there. It looks like that's what she wants to do right now. And to address discussion in chat with the stuck push, you can use the boots dust with the boomerang and 2 bombs, but you have to time that AY press with the boomerang to do it. So it's definitely not free, I would say, but the blue boomerang is a lot easier than the red to do that with. The red boomerang has a very specific and tight timing with the boots dust into hook, pressing the hook shot. You just tap AY. It's similar to doing a Samaria hook push or the misslotting a bomb for overworld conveyor, I would say, with that kind of timing. The Malmo's doing the citrus to get to TR.
Yeah, so this is a weird hop. that I don't remember off the top of my head. So she may have actually... I'm not sure how big the window is, but she may have actually had to look it up.
She looked it up. She's looking at the guide that she wrote, because no one does this often enough to remember the pixel. But if you jump to the right, while you're standing at a certain spot, you'll land on the bridge, and that's what she's doing right now. She's looking at a guide.
Yep, there we go.
Yeah, that was nicely done. That's not the first time we've seen that in this tournament also. I can't remember who else. I think Brett has done it, and maybe someone else has done it as well. So, I find it interesting that she accidentally went through the portal and decided not to go back. Because I have to imagine she was buying arrows for Ganon. She could have, you know, checked for arrows in that chest.
Why is she death warping again?
I think she took a hit on accident and then just decided she wanted a refill again. I don't know any other explanation. Wait, what? What, does she not have the TR big? Okay. Oh. I guess not. Maybe Red is the one that has it. And we were mistaken this whole time.
Alright, so I guess I didn't mismark. I got it for the wrong player. That's what happened. Alright, so I had marked...
Yeah, we can see in her menu she does not have it.
Yep, so that's my mistake.
Okay, so not having that, she has to do this YBA, which she just got successfully, to skip the big key door. Now she's going to do a south YBA in this door. And that's going to take her directly to the Aga 2 fight. Red is making progress in the seed, but unfortunately it's going to be too late for him, because Malmo already has Aga 2 down. Going for a Clipe. Nah, doesn't get it, but it happens. The first part of that is the hardest, just getting on the right pixel to start the clip. Personally, it's one of my favorite tricks, even though it's really not important. It just looks cool. So she's getting a fairy from the tree. And Red is back to Ice Palace. Okay, Malmo into the Ganon fight. Nice trident spin. Unfortunately gets the downward facing Ganon though. Okay, she gets the nice and easy spot from Ganon. It's like the best RNG you can get from Ganon is the top right corner.
Yeah, so she
into fake.
She has a single silver arrow.
Oh, I wasn't even worried about that. I mean, she can use that to take 3 spins off of the last phase if she lands the shot.
Well, she could have dug outside for arrows. I'm not sure whether that would have been worth it.
And that takes so long to do that sometimes. I mean,
Yeah,
sometimes
exactly.
you get lucky, but I've seen a lot of people digging outside GT in past races before and for other modes. It always takes a long time, from what I remember. Okay, into phase 4. Lands her silver arrow shot, so it should be just 9 spins from here. If she didn't have any before that.
No, she had some, so just a couple more.
Okay. Right. Ganon is down for Malmo. Get your GGs in chat.
So she finishes with a time of 1:39:14, and that shortly thereafter draws the forfeit from Red there.
That was very well played by Malmo, and I don't blame Red for forfeiting. He was having a lot of trouble. Seems like maybe it wasn't his day. And we're joined by Malmo. GG, Malmo.
Ah, thanks.
So I don't know if Red
Yeah,
often...
that was well played.
No, it wasn't.
Go ahead, sorry.
I lost my mind so hard at the end. I got hook pushing, and that won me the game.
Yeah, so unfortunately Red skipped some things. One of the things was hook shot off of Bombos. And then for a long time, the other thing that he skipped that you had for much longer was the fire rod.
Oh, good old Hyrule Castle. Let me guess. He had like the pod big key. He's like, I don't need the cave key, so I'm never gonna go to Hyrule Castle.
Something like
the
that.
GT Big was also in Desert.
Yeah, it's big bait to not do Hyrule Castle. I don't know if I would have done it if I hadn't pulled off the bomb juke that got me there.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting routing, because you didn't get anything on the pyramid, but you still used it to your advantage to just do more checks there. And we're joined by Red as well. GG, Red.
All right, maybe setting up a microphone there.
No, no problem.
GG, sorry.
GG.
So one of the things we were saying before you joined us is Malmo got the hook shot off of Bombos tablet.
Okay.
Where was Book?
It wasn't Pod, I'm pretty sure. Because
Yes.
you both have it.
Yeah, that was. I skipped South Shore, and I kind of almost forgot to do it. Yeah, I remembered after Skullwoods. And if I hadn't forgotten South Shore, I would not have gotten the hook shot. There's no way.
Yeah, I was wondering when you were going to go back to Mini Moldarm Cave, because the bow was there, and that's obviously a really helpful item.
That was totally not
but you-
important until I got hook shot, and then it was everything. Like you saw, I bought 2 arrow upgrades, and I didn't have enough arrows for Ganon at the end.
Yeah, I mean, it happens. Well, see, I was wondering, do you know Overworld Conveyor or not? Because, like, that would have been, I'm assuming not, based
Okay.
on what you showed us in
I
the
know
race, but...
Overworld Conveyor. I don't know how to do it to Laser Bridge as a bunny. And the other time I would have used it, which is to get to the middle, I didn't have enough arrows to do a comfortable setup, so I just did the one frame clip. I had to look it up.
Yeah, that was a nice clip. I mean, and it's understandable. Nobody knows the cue for that, because nobody really does that often. But I was just curious what your thoughts were on the conveyor, because I'm just defending the bow, because the bow is a helpful item. But nonetheless, I mean, we all know different stuff. And even though you said you didn't, I think you did play very well. I mean, you did have a little bit of trouble with some of the hook pushes, but it happens. I mean, overall, your execution was great. You had some great boss fights. Yeah, and especially because you said you weren't feeling that well earlier today. I just want to say, don't think that. You did a good job.
Oh, thank
It was
you.
well played.
Very sweet of you.
Right, so, Red, you were maybe having not so much fun. A couple of mistakes there, maybe compounding.
Yeah, pretty much. A lot of mistakes and so whatever, I guess.
So you got the Cane of Samaria out of Eastern that Malmo never went into, and you discovered your pendants by collecting your third.
Yeah, that was very fun. Like I was like, okay, I can complete this. Let's go. Okay, pendant. Okay, the green pendant. Let's do another one. Okay, the other pendant. Let's do the other one. Okay, the other pendant. So I have to pull the pedestal, I guess.
Yeah, that was unfortunate that you didn't get anything for all that work.
Well, from Easter, I got temper, so I was happy about that.
Yeah, I did like that you duped the sword in Eastern, but it just happened that in the sea there were swords on the way. Like there were two in Thieves Town. I don't remember where every sword location was, but there definitely were two in Thieves Town. One was on blind and one in the cell as well. But I actually had a question for you because I missed it because there was kind of a lot going on in this race. But what happened in Skull Woods with the? Did you do an STC and like get stuck, or were you trying to dupe something? I just missed what was going on there.
Oh, I was going fast to the big key chest, and then go around and get the pit chest. This is was doing the all the chest the quickest way possible, I guess.
I'm gonna watch it back because I was just curious. So, because I hadn't seen that camera unlock thing that had looked like it happened to you. I was just curious about that.
Oh,
So.
I did that. I opened the from the pitch the big key chest, and then go from the subtile. You get from to the big chest, and then you go back and you can open again the pit chest instead of the big key chest.
Okay. All right. I hadn't done
And
it exactly in that way, but I knew about the dupe to put the big key chest onto the other chest in the pit room. So I was just curious. I'm sorry. Type, did you have any more questions? 'Cause you're more experienced at this interview process than I am.
No, so, I mean, just race that sort of got out of hand in Malmo's favor because of an item or two with the fire rod, knowing you were in go mode so much. So that was interesting. You both sort of had, I guess, other than the fire rod, Red didn't have for a while, but you were in sort of an oh no go mode for a long time, Malmo. Is that right?
Yeah, I would say flippers was the item that made me stop opening chests. Because I could have done Castle Tower dupe, I just really didn't want to at midnight. Like, it's too late for that.
Yeah, what I thought was going to be a big advantage for Red was finding Samaria. It was in the eastern big key chest, and I mean, it did help him dupe the sword, and he had routing options available that weren't to you, but it ended up not being enough.
There was a funny situation where I actually wanted a Thieves Town small key. I don't know if you caught that.
We did catch that.
Yeah, so what happened was I didn't think I was going to survive a 4-heart hammer blind, so I was like, I'm not going to escort blind. Even though I didn't realize this, but of course I could have just dropped him off and left. But I didn't think about that. So that meant is when I went back in, I didn't have access to blind from the front of thieves. It was the dumbest thing. I just needed one key.
Yeah, we did notice that, but
And
mistakes like that are.
I got a
they
sword.
happen.
I got a sword next to blind, and that would have been enough, but I didn't think about it until it was too late.
Yep, that was what we figured, and I didn't think about you thinking about it right away either.
Yeah, key mistakes seem to be kind of a thing that can happen in this mode because the routing is so unconventional and there's so many different ways you can route dungeons in this mode. It definitely happens.
So, Red, did you have any further thoughts on your version of the seed here?
Not really. I am sad about failing the WBAs that will give me a lot of information, and I don't know. GG's. I am hoping for the second match today
So,
for me.
yeah, that second match is happening 9 hours from now. That'll be on this channel, and that will be a double header if necessary to finish game 3. So I think, Malmo, you have any last thoughts here?
No. See you tomorrow.
Yep.
See you later today, whatever time it is. Hopefully,
So-
I'll be a little more rested.
All right, so good game to both players. Thank you for JD for prime commentary. Thanks for the restream, whoever did that, our helper Drossi. And I think that will be it for us, so thank you for watching, and good night, everybody.